Well, hello, everyone. I am Becky Sandretsky, and I am with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Regional Commission. I oversee our RideSmart program, and I am the famous Ask Becky that you may see everywhere if you do live in the region here. Today, we're just kind of going to go over some tips, tricks, and interesting things about van pooling to see how it can benefit you as a commuter. And starting us off today will be Dana. And you can go ahead and introduce yourself, Dana, if you'd like to. Oh, and I will mention, if there's any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat, and then throughout we can ask or answer questions.
Perfect. All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Dana Paskett. I work here locally with the organization called Commute with Enterprise. Yes, we are a brand of enterprise rent-a-car, and Commute with Enterprise is our Vanpool specific line. So we work with employers, employees of all types that are commuting from anywhere in the United States to anywhere pretty much in the United States. But here locally, I work in Northern Virginia as well as DC. And then I have my counterpart, Maurice, or he goes by Mo, here as well. He works with all of our employers in the state of Maryland. So no matter where you're going to here in the greater DMV area, we have options available, whether it's a current van pool that's already starting or resources to be able to help you find other people and work with your employer as well as fellow co-workers that you might have to help start van pools if there is not one already in place to where you're going to. So with that being said, I have just a little thing prepared here to kind of go through. I'd like to kind of talk about what a van pool is. I think anybody on here might have been riding the commuter bus that recently shut down. So we'll talk a little bit about what makes van pooling a little bit more unique, how it can work for you, and what makes it sometimes even better than a bus in certain situations. And then we'll talk about some of the benefits of Commute with Enterprise, and we can go from there. So as Becky mentioned, if you have any questions, just put them in chat. And at the end, Becky, Karen, Mo, myself will go over any answers on that. All right. So Commute with Enterprise. So how a van pool works overall, similar to a bus, you will meet typically at a park and ride lot, but it's up to your choice as to where that is based upon the people that are in the van pool. Anywhere from 4 to 15 people can start a van pool or join an existing van pool and basically ride in to work together. So just like a carpool, you will have your own assigned vehicle. Everybody within the carpool ideally will take turns driving, but if you have someone that either can't drive or just isn't comfortable driving a vehicle, they do not have to drive. So there are different options available. Every van pool is unique, and that's what makes it sometimes a little bit better fit for people. Again, as I mentioned before, 4 to 15 people. And according to the IRS and Department of Transportation, the vehicle does have to be a 7-passenger vehicle, but we have an array of vehicles that are available, whether it's a minivan, crossover SUV, even larger passenger vans for larger groups based upon where you're going and what it looks like for your group. Again, we help you figure out a common meetup spot and work out details such as when to start, what the van pool looks like, exactly who's going to be driving each day, who's going to be the leader of the van pool. All those little things are worked out. But the best part about it is it works what's best for your group of people. So instead of everybody having to kind of work with the schedule of the bus driver, and whoever picked the schedule there, it works specifically for those people in the van pool. And as I mentioned, like a carpool and sharing the responsibility of the driving, coming into work together, you're utilizing our vehicle. So if you're a federal government employee, the benefit that you use for the bus also applies towards the van pool. So that 325 that is actually going up to 340 on January 1st does apply towards a van pool. In many cases, that fully covers the van pool costs, depending on things such as miles, the vehicle chosen, how many people are in it. If it doesn't completely cover it, we can guarantee you it's going to cost a heck of a lot less than it would driving your own vehicle in. And then we do have easy payment options available on our website. Ben will talk a little bit more about it later, but there is an additional subsidy through the state that pretty much all of the van pools qualify for that helps to pay towards the van as well. So these are different things that we have available as far as vehicles go. We'll talk about a little bit more on the next slide. However, all of the vans include fuel, the Easy Pass Flex to be able to ride on 66, 495, 395 for no charge with 3 or more people in the van. If you are on a tolled route, you can utilize those as well, and everything's split amongst those in the van pool. The lease price of the vehicle includes all insurance for the vehicle with a $0 deductible. Also, maintenance costs, roadside assistance costs, and as this mentions, local program support. Very important because once you're on the road, if you have questions, you run into any issues, you need anything from us customer service wide, we have a group of people that work here locally. You're not going to be calling some office anywhere else. It's going to be here locally that can help take care of your needs, whatever those needs might be. So looking at the vehicle options, these are just a few samples, but everything from minivans that hold 7 or 8 passengers, larger SUVs that would have a third row and can accommodate, different amounts of people, which are popular options kind of out where you guys are coming from, where you're typically going to see a little bit more snow than DC does. So we understand that sometimes when weather systems come through and, the government or your offices aren't closed, but you still get the snow, these all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive options are going to be available for you and your group if that's what you prefer. And then for larger groups that have some sort of parking at their work site that can accommodate it, we also have passenger vans. And these passenger vans aren't like those big church vans that you see that have just these long bench seats and it's very uncomfortable and it's hard to drive. No, these things are much better than they used to be. And on top of that, we can also do demos for you guys where we bring the vehicle to your work site, show people what the features are, what it looks like. You can sit in it, see what it feels like. So that is another thing that we do offer if you are looking at one of these different options. Oh, and within each category, especially the minivan and large SUV, there are multiple makes and models as options. As mentioned before, as far as what's included with it, you do have insurance, roadside assistance protection. You also have the vehicle maintenance costs included. So it's really designed that everything is all wrapped up into one. You don't have to worry about paying maintenance over here, fuel over here, the lease price over here, all of that. It's all everything wrapped up into one. As it mentions on the flexibility, the great part of it is you're not going to sign a 6-month or 1-year contract with us. It's not going to be like that. Like it says month to month flexibility. So you and your group are in that van as long as you need it until you say this isn't working anymore or other things have changed, whatever it might be. All we require is a 30-day notice to terminate. And that gives everybody some time to stop their payments coming from their employer, stop those Vanpool Alliance payments, and anything else that needs to stop. But it really truly is simply that easy. And again, we are here for 24/7 support. That roadside assistance is here to help no matter when your commute starts, no matter where it starts, and no matter where you're going and when it ends. So we do have that available. There is also guaranteed ride home availability, which means if you ride in the morning, everything's perfectly fine and something happens, you get sick, you need to go pick up a child from school, anything at all, guaranteed ride home guarantees you up to 6 free rides home per year if anything were to happen. So a nice little peace of mind extra there as well. When we're talking about your commute, of course, it's never an easy thing. A lot of people have quit their job or changed jobs or really, really, truly thought about their commute before they actually started a job. And that's where it is really, really important for everybody. So looking at the idea of sharing a commute, of course, if you just came off of a bus, you understand that. You understand how important it is not to be the one directly behind the wheel every single day. And most people start some sort of mass transit because they're looking to save money or they need to save money. They need not to put more miles on their own vehicle. Whatever that reason for you, it typically involves around dollar signs. But most people want to stay in some sort of mass transit, especially a van pool, simply because they cannot imagine going back to how it was before that. So that's where we really encourage this. And this is where NSVRC was looking at bringing this to you guys as an option so that you have that now that the bus is no longer an option for you. So we are here to try and make that transition as good, as smooth as possible for you guys and see what we can do to help. So if you have any questions, now's a great time on the Vanpool and can answer probably most of what comes our way. But I am happy to help.
Thank you, Dana. That was very good. And like we said before, if there is any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat. And then we will go ahead and I will pass the mic over to Ben.
Yes, I'm going to stop sharing so Ben can take the helm now.
All right. You guys can see Vanpooling. What's Vanpooling? All right. So I'm Ben Matters, program manager for Vanpool Alliance, and we are a local subsidy program for van pools in the DMV. So some of this might be a little duplicative, so I will hurry along. But what's a van pool? It's mode of public transportation. Usually it's a vehicle that has a seating capacity of 7 to 15. So minivans all the way up to those big old passenger vans. Open to the public and actively engaged in advertising. That's usually where my program comes in for ride matching and stuff like that. By doing that, you're open to the public and you're advertising. So we can kind of help you with that. And 80% of the vehicle miles comes from commuting. So if you're leasing through enterprise or going with another company, that usually kind of takes care of itself. Since it is a form of public transportation, this great mode of van pooling, that means you can use your commuter benefit if your employer provides it. So that's really great. Usually that means you can have little to no out-of-pocket costs, kind of like Dana had highlighted for you guys. So it's a much more flexible option for you guys as far as coordinating between your little commute pod and then kind of hitting the road. What's Vanpool Alliance? We're a public-private partnership that helps promote vanpooling in the larger DMV region. We work really closely with Enterprise, but we also have 39 other vendors in the program at the current moment. We're located at OmniRide in Woodbridge, Virginia. And for being in the program, giving us kind of that monthly ridership data, we provided $300 monthly payment to the van. So that kind of helps offset your lease cost with Enterprise, pays down the operation cost for the van, stuff like that. Program details. Given that you guys are way out in Virginia, you kind of don't run afoul of this, but traverse a portion of the DMV urbanized zone in Northern Virginia, so 66 or 95. And so you guys are starting out west and coming in, you guys will kind of take care of that. But sometimes we have vans that start in Maryland and kind of snake in, so it can be a little. There's a couple programs to choose. You need to have 4 more people rostered to your van. We don't have an occupancy requirement. It's just that you have 4 more people. And then you have to submit your monthly report by the 15th every month for ridership and mileage, and then we will convey payment to the owner of the van. So Enterprise usually hits your guys' account with that $300 if you guys do your monthly ridership. And then here's some of the other stuff that we can do for you guys. So ride matching. We have a big database, not as big as some of the other regional partners in the area, but ours tends to be more Vanpool specific. So if you do lose a rider, sometimes we have people who have put their information in our system, and we can kind of connect folks to maybe help bolster the numbers of your Vanpool. We can also help you find your local TDM folks. So here that would be Becky and Karen, but elsewhere that would be Sarah McGowan or Judy Galen's, in Loudoun and Prince William County and stuff. And those folks have access to the commuter connections database and stuff like that. And the commuter connections database has a lot more people in it who are looking to carpool, vanpool, kind of you name it. And that can be a good resource to kind of bolster your numbers. Maybe someone retires, gets a different job somewhere else, and so you're kind of left needing to make up the difference. Those resources can kind of come in handy to help keep that man on the road. A lot of our local TDM partners also have their own little programs, right? So they'll have Van Start or Van Save funds available to them. Some have other incentives like gas cards, stuff like that. It really depends on where your van is starting. And so we can be a good conduit to help get you in front of the right people. And also get you into the Guaranteed Ride Home database, which Dana kind of mentioned. Guaranteed Ride Home. That's a really good program that's kind of heavily underutilized, but it gives you that peace of mind. If you're all the way in DC, your kid gets sick, you get sick, anything really, and you need to get back home. They'll kind of hire a taxi for you and no questions asked, and you kind of can be on your merry way. So that gives you that peace of mind. If you need to get home, you're not kind of at the behest of everyone else on the van, and that can be really good. So here's my contact information, Ben Manners, manners@onride.com. If you guys have any questions, put them in the chat. But I would highly encourage you guys to check out Vanpooling as a mode. Dana does a lot of good work, and yeah, it's pretty easy. You guys got a lot of HOT lanes all the way to DC. You'll be passing everyone on those toll lanes. It's great.
Thank you, Ben.
Yeah.
Can give a couple minutes to see if anybody puts a question in the chat. And if you guys do need any help or have questions, you can reach out to me, Dana, Ben, Karen, and we're happy to help you all. Doesn't look like we're getting any questions. So I think we can go ahead and close it out, as I don't see any questions are coming in. So again, thank you all so much. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, just let us know.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.